are here to prove a point. We three kings just believe that you don't want to tussle with them. This show is thunder. Subscribe and tune in, and you're laughing to the very end. Don't turn your back on the dad pack. Don't turn your back on the dad pack.
Put the kids to bed. Dads are home, baby. We are down one, as y'all can see. Mr. Magnificent is working. He's working man, working dad. You know what I mean? But we are back here tonight, the one and only Big Rig and the wrestling T-shirt guy. And we have with us a very special guest tonight. He's been around this business for God only knows how long, and he has been really just in the entertainment business. It seemed like from doing our research and whatnot. The one and only Madman Pondo. Sir, how the heck are you?
I don't know how special I am, but I'm here. I am here.
I don't know, man. You have a certain it factor to you. I've followed your career since the first time I saw you, which was his actually his background that he's using, his little digital background there was on the Backyard Wrestling video games. That was my first exposure into you, and I didn't know you were real at first. I thought you were the character in a game, and I remember it wasn't shortly long after that in my tape trading days that somebody sent me a most violent matches tape. And you were on it, and I was like, "Oh, he's a real person." And ever since then,
I love those tape trading days. Those tape trading days is why I fell in love with Mr. Danger and Mr. Pogo.
Okay.
Back in the day, there was no the word death match was not created. It was throw in one of those bloody tapes, and I had a compilation of Mr. Pogo and Mr. Danger from Wing, and dude, I wore that videotape out. I had to buy a shittier copy off of RB, RF, whatever. And, the tape trading days. And, you know, that video game to this day, people will come up and say, man, I used to kick your ass back in the day. And I'll say, man, video games don't hit back like I do, you know? I mean, can't get away from that shit.
Bro, here's a comment. Here's a comment right here in our comments. I'm blown away. He's a real person. I remember him from the Backyard Wrestling game. I see you've heard that a few times then, huh?
Yeah. Couple times. Or I'll get, it's like Patrick Swayze at Roadhouse. It's like I'll get, man, I thought you'd be bigger. Or, I don't know what they're expecting out of me, but here I am, 36 years a minute ago when you said you didn't know how long I've been doing this. 36 years, 35 years, too damn long.
Well, we actually got to see you. How long ago was that we were at Cincy Wrestling? It was like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago. He's versus Omega D.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were at that show. You actually used my leg to support yourself, so I was glad I was able to be a part of that match in a very small way.
Yeah, I think you stopped on Eric. You stopped on Eric.
That was probably a shoot that I needed your help to stay up. So
yeah, well, anything I can do to help. You know what I mean?
You were pulling a thumbtack out of yourself, man. I don't doubt you needed something to lean on to pull the thumbtack. Yeah. In fact, I still have. So I'm a big wrestling nerd. Obviously, this room is full of wrestling stuff. So that match specifically, when the thumbtacks scattered around, I was like, well, I'll take a few of those.
There you go.
I put them in my wallet, and there's like a certain section of my wall of thumbtacks from certain violent matches I've been to. And
I'm sure if you're coming to the show on Saturday, there'll be more shit to grab. I'm sure something pop off. I don't know.
Yeah, we're actually looking pretty forward to that, man. I think I did a little bit of training myself, and I wrestled a few independent matches, maybe like 15 or 20. When I was 18 to like 20, and I stepped away from it to become a parent, and I'm almost 38, and Denham has basically bent my arm backwards and made me. He didn't try that hard, but he's talked me into wrestling once because my son wants to see it. So I'm going to go train for the next 8 to 12 weeks and try to wrestle in November. So and just at least get one match in, just so my son can see it one time.
Me versus you. Great idea.
Don't tempt me with a good time, dog. I would be so happy to have you kick my ass.
Here we go. The guy we were talking about prior to the show, old Robert Starks Bellamy, Madman
You know,
Pondo.
it's funny. I call Robert by his nickname, Robert.
I know, right? Everybody else calls him Mouse.
Everybody calls him Mouse. I call him Robert.
He called you
Always
Madman.
But yeah,
Robert,
that was actually. What's that now?
I said, "What up, Robert? Thanks for joining in."
Yeah. We always love when we get to talk to Mouse. We usually see him up there at Pro Wrestling Revolver in Dayton. Been in a couple Squared Circle Expos with him. He's been very, very good friend to us, even though he won't admit that we're friends, probably. But we love him all the same. But yeah, so that was my first time watching you wrestle live, and I had known of you somewhat before that, but I really didn't. Back when I was a kid in the tape trading days, I mean, I didn't really have access to any tape trading or anything like that. So like all of my exposure to you is on like YouTube and stuff like that. But like when I hear about the tape trading days, I'm like, man, I'm really sad I missed out on that, because there's so many things like you see on like even like WWE Network, or like now that it's on Peacock, you go back and watch like old ECW matches and all the music's dubbed over, or they can scrub stuff out that they don't want people to see. And it's like, man, if you had those tapes, there ain't no scrubbing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just.
Well, back in those days, I'm from a small town, Flora, Illinois, like population 5,000 something.
Okay.
And my parents had one of the first satellites sitting in our front yard, one of them big bastards, bigger than a Volkswagen that you had to turn to get to the right signal and all that shit. So I got all types of wrestling. So I would just videotape it all, and somebody would always want, I mean, there wasn't something that I would record that somebody didn't want to see. So it's very easy for me to trade back and forth. And I always traded for the Japanese stuff and the Puerto Rico stuff. People think death matches started in Japan. They didn't. They started with Victor Quiones in Puerto Rico, and then Victor Quiones went to Japan and started doing the death match stuff there. But it was a big death match stuff. But I never traded for a pay-per-view or any of the normal stuff. It was always what we called bloody tapes back then. And
well, I imagine that stuff was probably harder to come by too, because it wasn't like it was, you couldn't go to Blockbuster and rent bloody tapes for whatever, you know what I mean? Those are the ones we're trading for.
It's funny because FYE or what, I don't know what it was back there, Sam Goody or whatever, they put out something called Japanese hardcore. I don't know what the title was, but it had my picture on the cover of it, but I wasn't on the DVD.
What?
But people would go and buy it, and then they'd say, "Hey, man, I got that DVD you're on," and I'm like, "You better watch it because I'm not on there." But I signed so many of those just because my picture's on the cover.
That's kind of a cool little, he's got this DVD with him on the cover. He's not on it though, but he signed it. Cool little piece of collector's edition right there. And also, I know we talked about it a little bit beforehand. You not just in wrestling, you've kind of been in just the entertainment industry. You've been in movies, been in TV. I looked up the movie, which our friend Robert told me to look up, which was 2001 Maniacs. Is that accurate?
That's it. So I am a bigger horror movie fan than I ever am a wrestling fan. People come to my house and they think they're going to see a bunch of wrestling memorabilia. There's horror movie shit all around here. But when I got the call that I was going to be in a movie with Robert Englund, that was already a really, really big boost for me. Right. Then it came out, and I'm right next to Robert Englund's. anyway, I'm next to Robert England's left ear. That shit fucks me up. But, I'm right next to Robert England's left ear on the Blu-ray. So double whammy, man. That's one of the biggest things I could have ever done. And he's real big on the cover, and there I am right next to his left ear. To this day, he still remembers me. I went to Scarefest in Lexington, and people started telling him, he's like, hey, Man Pondo's here. So he kept telling people to have me come over and talk with him. And when I went over to talk to him, his line was like, down this wall, down this wall, down this hall, outside the, so I was like, I'm not waiting in that fucking line. No way. So then finally my buddy, Gator McAllister, Joe Hopkins, he come over and he said, hey, man, Robert England says he wants to talk to you. I said, yeah, but I'm not waiting in that line. And he said, no. He said, get to where he can see you. He's going to call you over. So I did that. He called me over. I started walking through security to get to him. Security nabs me up. They says, hey, where are you going? I said, oh, Robert England wants to talk to me. He goes, Robert England wants to talk to everybody. Go get back in line. And then Robert England got up from his table, came over, pulled those guys' hands off by me and said, this is Madman Pondo. If he wants to talk to me, he can talk to me. And, that's
awesome.
That's just one more thing in my life that I got up in the old computer that I will never forget.
Yeah,
those are some of the coolest moments, man. Pull that up, Eric. I don't know if you know.
I want to see if this pulls up well.
Yeah,
there you go.
There he is,
right next to his left ear.
Yeah, with the hat.
Dude.
And you were the blacksmith. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm the blacksmith. I'll even give you guys a bigger scoop. Pull it back up.
Okay. All right.
Now you see me, right?
Yeah.
Behind me is Peaches. Behind her, that's me as well.
You're on there twice.
I'm on there twice.
They just doubled you.
That's great.
That's awesome.
And
That's
then
awesome.
Another thing that I'm really proud of. So I'm a big Terrifier Art the Clown fan.
Yeah.
And when part 2 was being made, I sent $20 into their Indigo. And if you watch Terrifier 2 and you go past the Chris Jericho part, it'll say special thanks to or something like that. If you follow that down, you will see Kevin Kennedy, and that's this mug right here. I'm in the
Hell yeah.
My daughter is going to trip because she's obsessed with Terrifier right now. She just turned 11, and I know they're a little extreme, but I watched worse shit at that age. So I let her watch them finally when she turned 11, dude, and she has been like she wants to make her own horror movie. Like, you talking horror, that's the core of us over here as well, man. I'm a big wrestling nerd, but the family goes to horror conventions, and we have a hell of a time. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah, we went to a horror hound last year.
Cool. I got a new book coming out in September, and the thing about it is, one day I was sitting in Japan and I was looking at all my photos of me with all the horror movie people that I've met. I mean, I've met the 5 greats: Robert England, Kane Hodder, Gunnar Hansen, Nick Castle. I mean, I met all the greats. And one day I was sitting in Japan because I had all this free time, and I thought, man, what if I lost my Facebook to some scammer? I wouldn't have access to any of these pictures anymore. So I went ahead and wrote a book about me meeting all these horror movie characters, and that's coming out in September.
Awesome.
I gotta say, I spent a good hour. I love that you organized all your photos like that. I spent a good hour clicking on your Facebook, like, man, this guy. It's literally like I find a lot of things where we parallel because we're very similar in these respects, man. Like, we just do cool shit and enjoy it while we're doing it.
That's it, man. Like, I'm 56 and I just got done at Cedar Point. Rode every roller coaster there was at Cedar Point from open to close, and it took from open to close. But yeah, man, I'm one of those guys, you can't take it with you. Let's have a good time while we're here. That's why I'm broke as shit all the time, but I have a good time. I smile, you know.
Yeah, like you said, you can't take it with you, man. Enjoy life while you can.
That's it.
Yeah, we've all lost a lot of people, you know, regardless of this industry with its losses. But we've all lost a lot of people that'll you know, remind you of that real quick. So I try to drink that shit in. I was able to sneak into a party I wasn't supposed to be at and drink with Ric Flair. You know what I mean? And I remember just telling these guys, like, man, you can't ever take that shit away. No matter what happens, I got to party and get drunk with Ric Flair. You know, I got to do this and that. I got to go see the Grand Canyon not that long ago. You know, it's just a hole in the ground, but it's a cool one.
Here's the thing about back in my generation of starting in professional wrestling. It was a big rule back in the day. Don't take pictures. Don't ask the stars for pictures. Don't, you know, and all that. And to me, that was horseshit. Like I was there. We're all marked, so we wouldn't be in this business. That's all there is. That sentence to this day stays clear. We're all marked, so we wasn't in this business. And so many of our brothers and sisters are dying. So why not make that memory? And I have never, maybe a couple times, but I have never asked somebody, hey, can I take a picture with you? And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of them think that I can pull barbed wire out of my asshole and cut them with it, so they don't tell me no. But I don't get no. So I have a picture in between Roddy Piper and Terry Funk. Can you get that anymore?
Nope.
I have a picture with me in China. Can you get that anymore? You know, I mean, just so many. And I don't just take pictures of me and the bigger famous people. I take pictures of me and anybody who I want, you know, Marcus Crane, Nate Hatred, you know, I have pictures of all these guys, and you can't do that anymore. So stop letting these guys call you a mark for wanting to take a picture, because that's what we all are. That's why we're here. That's why we're on this podcast right now, because we're all three, you know, mark is a very, very stern word, but we're all huge fans, or we wouldn't be here. Take the pictures.
Dude, we look at that all the time. You know, we're actually compiling a list right now. We have we call it a database, which is all our episodes, and we're actually going through and making a list of everybody we've had on the show, and just going through and looking at the list. We're like, man, if we would have never started this, we wouldn't have had any of these experiences at all. Right. We wouldn't have met half the people. We wouldn't have met Mouse. We wouldn't, you know, all these people that are so important to us. And it's just, you see it a lot more now. People are like, take the picture, man, take the picture, especially.
On that note, if you are a fan of mine and you want a picture with me, just ask. I'm down to do it, man. No big deal.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of taking the picture myself, man. I always have, man. It's very important, man. You know, like you said, you miss out if you don't. I drove out of my way to go meet Roddy Piper. I drove 2.5 hours to do it, and at the time in the drive, I was like, man, this is a pretty long commitment to meet Piper, but I'm so glad I did, man.
So the first time that I got to meet, you guys ever watched The Warriors? It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but the dude with the bottles.
Yep.
Warriors go out to play. I drove from Jeffersonville, Indiana, all the way to Salem, North Carolina to meet that dude, because we'd never done a convention, and I was like, oh, I mean, that was the Big Hooks, his first convention. I drove there, and I met him. I met RoboCop. You know, I mean, but he was and even let's even back up. When I first started going to horror conventions, I lived in Charleston, West Virginia, and drove all the way to Parsippany, New Jersey to meet Linda Blair.
That's a good one.
It was a bad experience, but I mean, I still have the picture, so no big deal. And if you think about it, I've been to the Gathering of the Juggalos every year, so I've got pictures with Coolio, and you know, just always take the picture. That's my point.
Yeah. I mean, I look at that now, like, not even that long ago, like just a couple years ago, going to indie shows and taking pictures with, Swerve Strickland and
Will Ospreay.
fucking Will Ospreay and, shit like that, like seeing them at indie shows, taking the picture. And now, I'm sitting here with my daughter, and like my daughter was with me too, and we're watching them on national television. I'm like, you remember that? Like,
That's it.
we got those moments, and
right.
it's pretty cool.
So speaking of moments, man, we got to talk about some of the moments you had a little bit earlier in your career, because I know you had your own public access television show.
I did.
How do you start? Is that just like what we did, and you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna make a show? Is that how it started for you?
So I'm sitting in the crowd after a show, and this was in Louisville, Kentucky, and there was this older gentleman who was telling me, hey, they have wrestling on public access, but it's garbage. It's terrible. You guys should put this wrestling on public access. And I was like, well, the guy who's running this ain't giving nothing away for free, so I'm sure you're not going to see us on public access. And the more we talked, he got serious with me, and he goes, I really like watching public access, but they do crazy things on there. And I'm like, oh, what do they do on there that's so crazy? He's like, well, they can say what they want, and they just cuss. They just cuss all the time. I'm like, really? And then he says, and they'll put naked girls on public access. I said, that's a shame. 2 weeks later, I had my own public access TV show called Skull Talk, and I would talk these girls into getting naked and sit on my lap and introduce wrestling matches, and it got pretty popular there for a while. Like, I would walk around. I went to the Taste of Louisville, and people would come up to me and like, hey, aren't you that Skull Talk guy?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm also Madman Pondo, but thank you for realizing that I'm the guy with titties all over his face and all that. So then after a while, there was 3 rules. You couldn't advertise on there, but you could put your email address on there, or your web, not your email address, your web page or whatever.
Right.
Let's see. You couldn't advertise. You couldn't have dick on there. Which, hey, no problem. No dick, no problem. And the third was you couldn't show penetration. Well,
that's very few rules.
Yeah, if you got a hold of any of those episodes, you saw that, yes, my webpage was at the bottom, MMP in the house at webtv.com. I didn't realize how aggravating that would be for everybody in the world to have to write that shit out every time they was emailing me, but I guess it was. Then there was no dick whatsoever. And then I kept pushing the limits, and finally I had a girl use a dildo on herself and being really loud, and then me going, hey, shut up, bitch. And then I said, here's Pondo versus the Sandman. And then I look over and I go, okay, you can go ahead now. And that's what got the show shut down. That's when they said, hey, we can't do that anymore. But maybe 4 or 5 months after that, the public access people got a hold of me and said, hey, we've been thinking about it, and if you're down, we would like you to come back and start doing shows. And I'm like, nah, I'm really done with it. And they was like, well, just so you know, people was buying local cable so they could get public access to watch your show. So that's a pretty good compliment, but
yeah.
But here's the thing, the best idea or the worst idea. So yes, it was a great idea once the product got done and it was shown on TV, worst idea, because what could only take 15 to 20 minutes would take hours and shit. Oh, I gotta smoke a cigarette. Oh, I gotta do my makeup. Oh, is one titty bigger than the other? All this stupid horse shit. So I just got tired of doing the show. And I didn't realize how tired I was of doing it until after I got canceled off of public access, and then I was just like, ooh, I can relax and shit. Another funny fact about it is, and I don't know why they did this, they put my show in between two religious shows.
That only makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
Of course, my email or webpage was, the MMP Enda House at webtv.com was at the bottom of every episode. So this preacher would write me just nonstop after every show, telling me how close to hell I'm getting, and that's somebody's daughters, and all this shit. Well, I would drop my videotape off at the public access place. It was an old grocery store, and the electric doors didn't work anymore. But when you go in the grocery store, there's that little window section, before you get into the store.
Yeah.
So I'm walking in, and that same preacher is walking out. And we locked eyes with each other, and he just kept on walking. He didn't say one word. Not a thing. I dropped off my videotape, and by the time I got home, I got another email. Hey, I saw you. You saw me, and you look like a bigger sinner in person, and all this. Yeah, Skull Talk was a great idea until you had to deal with the chicks, and then it was a terrible idea.
So, where was that located? What city was that in?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
This on Louisville, Kentucky TV.
It was illegal for them to. I don't law this, but it was illegal for them to check your videotape before they put it live on public access. And that's how I got away with penetration on public access one time.
Man, talk about taking a risk. This could be anything. Guess we're gonna air
it. Exactly. And nobody was taking advantage of this, and people was coming to that company in Louisville because, I couldn't put like an advertisement up, but I could always talk about, I'm going to be in this town and this town and this town. People was coming to the wrestling matches just to meet me and get my autograph and stuff like that. And then they would see the show and they'd be like, holy shit, and then that would gain more fans. So it was great up to a point. And for God forbid, knowing what Skull Talk did, then I started my own girls wrestling company years later, and holy shit. If you think running a wrestling show full of guys is a headache, run a wrestling show full of girls. I'm not putting down women. I'm just putting down wrestling girls.
Oh, shit. So
a lot of egos. Real quick, I just want to shout out a couple people. My boy Andrew, that's my buddy I work with.
Andrew?
What's going on, Andrew? Our boy Castro. I do not know how to pronounce his last name. Vegas. And our boy Jay Roman of the Jay Roman Show.
Jay? What up, Jay?
The Rose Show is back in gear, which is great. Good to see my homie back on his pod throne.
But yeah, man, that's just so wild that that you couldn't look at the tape, so it was just whatever's on here's on here.
And I have none of those. I don't have one copy of those. Over the years, divorce, girlfriend, house to house, get out, don't want to see you no more. I've lost so much shit and videotapes of all the tape trading tapes that I held on to, all the Skull Talk episodes. Over the years, you just lose shit and you don't even remember where it is anymore. So that shit's all gone, but still up here, still up in the Oak.
That's right. You got those memories. Now,
That's it.
did that lead you into working with Jerry Springer? Was that born
No.
of public access? No.
No, actually, I got a couple of the Jerry Springer guests to do the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, the Jerry Springer show, my buddy, Wicked Jester Ace, he went to Jerry Springer and they asked him, they said, hey, we're looking for really weird and bizarre characters. Do you know any? And he's like, maybe I do. And he gave them my telephone number. So I went the first time. I went the first time and I got that first showing done. And then they asked me, they're like, hey, do you know any crazy and wild people? Well, I'm in the wrestling business. Yeah, I know some.
I know plenty.
Yeah. So next thing I know, I was getting paid to get my guests on, and I was making a little living out of it, to tell you the truth. I don't know if that's what a producer does, but I believe that's what you could consider that. I was a producer for Jerry Springer because I was getting them guests after guests after guests, making pretty good checks out of them guys. And I quit doing it because 4, 5 in the morning, if they need a guest, they call you and they want you to find somebody. Well, who in the hell am I going to find at 4 or 5 in the morning? Which I always pulled it off. I always did it. But
I was going to say, you probably find some freaking weirdos at 4 or 5 in the morning.
After a while, it just got to be bullshit. And I was going back and forth to Japan. So I was making pretty good money and didn't need Jerry Springer. And then when that Japan deal broke through, I was like, shit, I should have stayed with Jerry Springer. But and you know, it got to the point where they were flying me in to hang out with my guests. So I got to meet Butterbean. I got to meet Odorous Urungus. And that's how me and him became pretty good friends. I've got the only tattoo that Odorous Urungus did. He autographed his name into my leg with a tattoo gun. And then I went ahead and got an Odorous tattoo under it. I'll show it to you Saturday. But
hell yeah.
And who else? So many porn stars. I mean, there was this anybody that was cool, I would go and meet on the Jerry Springer show.
Yeah, I got the chance to meet Odorous as well. He was super fucking cool too and hilarious.
So laid back. Let me tell you a story about him. So Guar went to Japan, and he knew that I had been to Japan many times.
Yeah.
And I get a text from Odorous, and he says, Pondo, we're over here in Japan. We're killing it. And I wrote him back, and I said, I knew you would. I told you. They love monsters over there. I knew that you was going to do great. And he wrote me back, and he was like, you would be so proud of us. And I'm like, I wrote him back. I said, you're Odorous. You're Guar. I'm already proud of you. What are you talking about? That's how laid back he was, that he wanted me to know I would be him. You know, I mean, such a good guy. So I don't know if you guys knew this. We brought him in to my company, IWA East Coast, and it was Odorous Urungus versus Tracy Smothers. Loser leaves Planet of the Earth. I don't know if you can find that on the internet anymore. And then later on for D1W, it was me and Odorous versus a couple of guys. You know, I mean, he was always laid back, always such a good dude. That was the one when people started saying that he passed away. I wrote him. I texted him, and I was like, hey, debunk this. Write me back so I know that everybody's bullshit, and I'll start telling everybody it's bullshit. But it wasn't bullshit. He really did pass away.
Shit sucks, man.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, we mentioned this earlier about taking the photo and whatnot. We actually had the last 2 appearances of Kevin Sullivan on any show. He was on our show twice right before he passed away. And it was just kind of like, I don't know, you talk about a surreal feeling when he passed away, man. It was just like,
what a good guy. I mean, I don't work for. I mean, I hear horror stories about everybody, but I don't have any horror stories about Kevin Sullivan. He was always good to me. I wrestled him. He put me over. The last time I saw Kevin Sullivan, it was like, I don't know why I was there, but it was like an ECW reunion. And it was Sabu, Shane Douglas, Gary Wolf, Sandman, Kevin Sullivan, and me. I don't know why I was there, but I value it because Kevin Sullivan came in and there was 100 tables he could have sat at, but he was like, Pondo, is it okay if I sit with you? And I'm like, that's your chair, bud. And, you know, he kept telling me, he's like, man, I wish I would have known you back in the day. I would have made money off of you and you know, I would have made you a star and all this. But shortly after that is when he passed away. But I never cared about the big. So all the guys that I trained with to become a wrestler will tell you today, never once did I say, oh, I want to make it in WWE. I want to make it in WCW. I want to make it. I don't even think TNA was a thing then. But my dream was always, I want to wrestle in Japan. Like as a kid, I was a big Godzilla fan. And Mothra always had these 2 little fairies that would sing and call Mothra to help Godzilla. And them 2 little fairies was like the cutest little Asian girls. So I always tell myself, oh man, I really want to meet somebody from Japan. So my goal was always to wrestle in Japan. And of course I had that compilation videotape of me and Masanaga. Not me, but Masanaga and Mr. Pogo, which I am happy to say, rest in peace, Mr. Pogo, but I was on first name basis with him. And I always go to Mr. Dangerous Steak when I'm in Japan, and he always says, American Danger Man, you know. So those 2 guys that was teaching me how to be stupid like I am today, I'm on first name basis with both those guys. Rest in peace, Mr. Pogo.
That's pretty cool, man. It took me a second, but we talked about it earlier, so I want to bring this up. This is the photo from the day that we saw you. I remember being so fucking stunned. I was like, let's take a photo, and you're like, sure. And you put the saw up to me, and I was just like, oh shit, all right, cool.
Everybody can take a picture. Here, put me back up. Everybody can take a picture like this.
Yeah.
I figure if somebody wants a picture with me, I'm gonna make it memorable, and that's what I figured out.
That's exactly what you did there, man. That was fucking a hell of a moment, man. Like I said, I collected thumbtacks from that match that night. That was cool too. I got to meet Dan Severn that night.
Yeah.
Which you talk about a legend. That guy was pretty cool too to see him in there. His poor wife, she was so scared that he was taking bumps and not just going in there and kicking the guy's ass, you know. And she was scared. She was crying. We were calming her down, like, it's okay. He's gonna be all right. He's good. He's okay. She's
Dan
like,
Severn, of course, he was at the truck stop match. You guys remember that, right? The big truck stop match, and he never forgot me over the years. He's always said, "There's no way I'll ever be able to forget you." Like after my match, when I got in the back, he was walking through the dressing room, and he stopped. And of course, I'm all in the mask and everything. He stopped in the middle of the room and he started staring at me with his head sideways. And I was like, you know, when a UFC guy's staring at you like that, you don't know if you're getting ready to get the fuck choked out or what's going on. But he just points his finger and he goes, "You're a better man than me." Right? He still remembers that to this day. Because at that show you're talking about, I said, "Hey, Dan, can I get an autograph of it from you?" It was for my buddy Dano, but I asked him for an autograph, and he put Pondo, "You're a better man than me, Dan Severn." I was like, "Oh no, it's not for me, it's for somebody else." So he gave me that one, and then he gave me a different one.
That's pretty cool.
He still remembers that. You know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Things like that. Things like that is
Yeah.
what you remember. So, going back to the horror shit, the first time I met Kane Hodder, I'm waiting in his line, and if you guys been to a convention, he always has a line. I don't know
Oh yeah.
what it is with Kane Hodder, but he always has a line. So I waited in line, and I finally get up to Kane Hodder, and he kind of glances at me a minute, and he goes, "You want a picture?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Which one you want?" And I looked, and I said, "I'll take this one." He goes, "Pondo, right?" I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "How did you know that?" And he pulled up his sleeves, and he's got Hatchet Man wrist sweatbands on. He goes, I'm a juggalo, you know." So he knew who I was. I thought that, you know, shit like that. That's what sticks in your head, you know.
And I'm starting to get recognized for a couple weird things, man. I don't know how much you know about me, but I hold the world record for going the most consecutive day wearing a wrestling shirt. And I do videos every day to prove that I'm wearing a different shirt. And I like when we met Enzo just recently, he knew exactly who I was. And I was just like, oh, Enzo knows who I am. Now my belly has went viral because I've got the Intercontinental Championship tattooed on it.
Do you ever regret getting that?
No, man, because I'm a giant fan of wrestling, obviously, and I am more of a fan of what substantiates the card than I am of main event most of the time. I like to see somebody working to impress a lot. You know what I mean? So Intercontinental is just kind of, I don't know. It's always produced a lot of really good people.
Yeah.
So that was, I don't know.
You know what he regrets the most is showing off his tattoo and going viral, and everybody making fun of how high his belly button is. Everybody, most of the comments were like, "Why is his belly button so fucking weird?"
Who cares? Who cares? Man?
It was very funny, but that was up at Squared Circle Expo up in Indianapolis. We've had a table up there the past couple years, and of course he wore a crop top the entire weekend. So everybody's like, "Oh, let me take a picture with him. Let me take a picture." And yeah, it was a good time.
You know, Heather and Ed has never asked me to do that.
What?
Hey, well, we could just say, "Hey, why don't you appear at our table next year? We'll get you a hotel room, and you could be."
I mean, I think I would do all right because when I go to horror conventions, it's in Indianapolis, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, when I go to horror conventions in Indianapolis, the Days of the Dead and Horror Hounds started letting me in for free because I'm taking pictures of more people than some of the lower names that they book. So and the owners started realizing that. So
well, I mean, shit. We'll send you more messages, of course. We can talk logistics, but we'll get you a hotel room, and you can appear at our table next year. We try to switch it up as much as we can, but we had Crash there. We tried to have Jake Chris there one year, but he couldn't make it. He ended up breaking his foot the night before. So it's what a
great guy Jake Chris is.
Such a wonderful guy.
Yeah,
that's another guy. If we wouldn't have started this, we would have never met him, and he's become a great friend to us for sure. We've had a lot of really cool moments with him.
Hell yeah.
What's cool is he watches our shit too. Sometimes we'll be having an episode with someone that has nothing to do with him at all whatsoever, and he'll just tune in with a little comment or something, and we're just like, "Oh, Jake's watching." Like, okay.
That's cool.
Dude, I still remember the story Jake told us about wrestling. I'm pretty sure he wrestled at the Gathering, and he wrestled a guy named Shitstain.
Shitstain,
and it was really funny because
that name.
Did you?
His wrestling name was Pit Stain, but I changed it to Shit Stain.
We had a conversation about it. He's like, "Man, I wonder how Shitstain is." So I did research, right? And I went out and I figured out who Shitstain was, and I reached out to him, made sure he was okay. And we were able to tell him when he came back on as a guest again, like, Shitstain's fine. He's doing well, and he sends his best regards.
So for a lot of years, I had problems at the Gathering this year. I'm not there this year, but I ran the Madman Pondo JCW tryouts. And this guy come up to me and said, "Hey, Pondo, is there any way, do you care if I jump off the truss?" Which is these things that bring the stage up high.
Yeah.
I said, just whatever you do, don't get hurt because, you signed a waiver, but I don't want anybody to get hurt at my thing. He was like, I won't get hurt, I promise you. I'm like, okay. So the time has come, and he starts climbing the truss, and he keeps going, and he keeps going, and he gets all the way to the roof, and he monkeys out to the middle, and his dude is laying flat in the middle of the ring. He goes all the way out to the middle and jumps from the top of the stage, top of the awning of the stage, down onto the ring. I will never forget pit stain, shit stain for the rest of my life.
Holy shit.
I do believe Jake was there for that. Jake and Dave both was there for that because, I'm pretty sure they was both there.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the story he told too. I think he was just. I can't believe the bump he took. Like,
yeah, that's it. That's got to be it.
And then we also have a comment here. Still can't believe you wrestled with my dad, Jeff King.
See, I know 2 Jeff Kings. I know one in Detroit. And, I'm a terrible name guy. But if I saw this guy, because I believe that girl wrote me, but if I see his face, I'll be like, oh, yeah. But I'm a terrible name guy. I forget my own name every once in a while.
Take a couple bumps over your 36 years. That'll tend to.
Okay.
Chair shots there and there.
Yeah.
Jeff's ring name was Crazy Chris Davis.
So, and I believe the dad was Joe Davis. I think we used to do a. Surely she'll comment. I think it was Chris and Joe Davis, and we used to do these fire station shows. I believe that's who it is. Maybe. I don't know.
It's crazy when you have that long of a career and do so many things. That's what people sometimes, when I tell them some of my stories, they're like, damn, man, you've done so much. It's not really that I've done so much. It's that I've just never said no to anything, really. Somebody's like, oh, you want to go to Detroit to watch this show? Yeah, whatever. Let's go.
Yeah. Here's the deal with me. I went to Super Class 3. And I know that the main event was Kerry Von Erich versus Jerry King Lawler. I can't remember what the rest of the card was. I went to the first Night of the Skywalkers in Chicago. Remember what the main event was. Can't remember the rest of the card. I mean, I don't know if that's old age or just too much input to remember everything. But I remember certain matches as I was growing up. Windy City had Terry Gordy versus Bam Bam Bigelow. That was way before ECW did it. I remember that. I got to see Nord the Barbarian versus Bruiser Brody, which that was also at Windy City. There's certain matches that just stick into my mind, but I can't remember the rest of the cards. I just went to so much wrestling from childhood to adulthood, and now I can't even watch wrestling anymore. I mean, if there's a hellacious spot that comes on Facebook, I can watch that. If I'm at a show and I'm not wrestling, but for some reason I'm at a show, I'll watch a few matches. I'm so tainted, man, that I just can't. I'm just give me a horror movie to watch.
Oversaturation a little bit too, man. You can only intake so much.
Are you a fan of I know you said you're a fan of the Terrifier. Are there any other modern horror movies that you're a big fan of, or do you like more of the slasher stuff, or do you like the stuff like A24 is coming out with, or
A24? I got a big problem with them in their art films.
Okay,
does that make sense? I mean, if you're an A24,
do you think they're trying to be artsy just to be art's sake? Or
look at that movie Men. Did you see Men? Don't waste your time. I don't know. Some man started having a baby and it was human. Anyway, if I explain anything, it's going to make that movie seem good. I loved X. I thought X was so good, but then Pearl and Maxine, to me, had no point to be made.
Yeah, they were boring.
There's another A24 that I went and saw. I'll tell you the biggest waste of time ever. Did you guys fall for watching Skinamarink?
No.
Oh man, all these people was going on and on about Skinamarink, and it's the worst piece of shit I ever saw in my damn life.
Now, is it a piece of shit just because it's, continuity shitty, or is it like a piece of shit like Hell Comes to Frogtown kind of piece of shit? Because I kind of love that.
I like Hell Comes to Frogtown. That's kind of my thing. I like that shit. So if I say that a movie's shitty, you got to realize that movie's shitty. But Skinamarink is, I can't even explain this thing. And if for me to explain it, it's going to make it sound like it's a good movie, and it is not. It is a piece of horror shit. But my favorite horror movie is Mother's Day from Troma. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I got a friend that's in a couple friends that are in a Troma film. I think Kill Dolly Kill, is that what it's called? Maybe I can't know, but they were just recently into it. They just turned me on to Troma films, so I'm just getting into them for real. But they've got quite a few.
I'll tell you one of my favorites. It's not an A24 film, but just one of my favorites that I've seen recently. Because my girlfriend's a huge horror fan, so like she's always like, "Oh, check this out," because I've never been that big into it, but she's introduced me to some really good ones. But Barbarian.
Oh, I love Barbarian.
Dude, holy shit, that was great.
Yeah. Would you have drank from the bottle?
What's that?
Would you have drank from the bottle if you were trapped in Justin Long's
with
position?
that? Yeah,
I guess I would have had to. It's one of those put a gun to your head type things. But
I will drink from the giant bottle. I'll be the baby.
That's it.
Anyone who hasn't seen that is like, what the fuck was that mean?
I'll tell you, I'm a big hater of the movie Hereditary.
Really?
Yeah.
So big, yeah.
Really?
To the point, Hereditary, was that A24?
Yeah.
I think it was, but that was Ari Aster. Ari Aster has his own style, so he kind of...
See, but I love Midsommar, though.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Okay, so I hated Hereditary, but I didn't know that you had to watch for clues going through the movie.
Yeah.
I had no clue of that. I want to go, like I enjoy Police Academy because they join the Police Academy, they do funny shit, and at the end, they become cops. That's a movie.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to figure out what's going on along, and that's what Hereditary was. But since Hereditary, I knew their demographic, I enjoyed Midsommar because now I know, okay, A24 wants you to figure out shit that's going on. Like, I saw the bear outfit with the flames behind it on the wall,
Yeah.
So because of Hereditary, which I'm not asking anybody to go see that shit. Here's my thing with Hereditary. You guys both saw Hereditary, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the dude says, "Hey, I'm going to a party." The mom says, "Oh, are you going to be drinking? Are you going to be smoking weed?" And he's like, "No." And she knows he's full of shit, but what's her solution? Take your sister.
Take
All
your
right?
sister.
So takes his sister to this party, and of course he's off smoking weed, and she eats walnuts, peanuts, whatever the fuck she eats. And so now he's driving her to the hospital, presumably. He never said where he was driving, and she can't breathe. She puts her head out the fucking door, gets it knocked off. Her head gets knocked off. And the next morning, the dude wakes up in bed, no cops, no jail time.
That I'll say this. I remember the first time I watched that movie, I had a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
I did. And here's the thing. I did not like Hereditary near as much as I like Midsommar. I love Midsommar.
Yeah.
But Hereditary, at the end of the movie, I was just like, that's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it was just, like the whole movie, I'm like, okay, what's going on type shit. But then there was like that part with his sister, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
It's not just A24. Did you ever see Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Was you a fan of Lords of Salem?
No, not like I was any of his
What
other
the
stuff.
fuck was that? Like, it started off just being a movie, and then it had this little ugly midget surrounded by fathers jacking off dildos. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It just went
Right.
way off the rails of anything. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of art films at all. There's another one called Envy.
Yep.
Envy's what's the second word of that? Envy's something. Anyway, yeah, art films to me are horseshit. Men, Envy's whatever it was, Hereditary, shit like that.
Did you see Heretic? With Hugh
Yeah, I
Grant?
did see Heretic, and here's the thing, though. I saw it in Japan, and anything in English is fucking appreciated. And Heretic had Japanese subtitles, but it was in English, and I liked that it was in English, but I want to know how that nun got back up out of that well real quick. There's a lot of fucking questions, but yeah, I'm just not a big A24 guy anymore, really.
I will
But
say,
I loved X. I fucking loved X. I thought it was great.
Hugh Grant's. Is that Hugh Grant?
Yeah, Hugh Grant as a bad
His
guy was phenomenal.
performance was tremendous.
And
Yeah.
that's what saved it.
Yes.
Hugh Grant is what saved it.
Yeah,
All that other weird horse shit going on, that killed it, but Hugh Grant was the savior of that.
Another one I liked was Long Legs. I enjoyed that.
That was a little weird.
That's another one. That's another one in Japan that I saw because it was in English. Because I was there 9 months and loved Nicolas Cage,
Yeah.
So I couldn't wait to see it. And then
I couldn't believe that was Nicolas Cage when I saw him. I'm like, oh my
and
God.
by the end of that movie, I'm like, what the hell did we just watch? And
What happened?
me and Dale Patricks and Akira, and we're all just confused, and we're trying to talk to each other about what did we just see. And yeah, I don't know, it just dropped the ball. Now, also while I was over there, I watched Something for the Devil. If you could check that out, I think it was Sympathy for the Devil, that had Nicolas Cage and the dude who was the new RoboCop.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
that was good. That was a good one. It's not a horror movie, but
Oh, okay. Yeah.
is it Sympathy for the Devil?
Sympathy for the Devil. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's on
Anything in
Hulu.
English over there is great, though.
Me and my brother, like I said, I like to travel and I like to do stuff. Like I went to every Mania except for Vegas since 35 and COVID, of course, right? So I like to go different places. We flew to LA for Mania, drove back, right? And we live in Cincinnati, so we try to get these adventures. And our next mental adventure is we're going to do Wrestle Kingdom in Japan.
Oh, there you go.
I want to go to Japan. I'm scared to death because I'm a picky eater. I'm scared to death I'm going to starve for 2 weeks, but I want to go spend a couple weeks in Japan, man. I want to just experience it.
I have went 49 times there and back to Japan. Can you imagine the time that I've been?
Oh,
I want to get that number 50 out of the way, but 49 times there and back.
Would you say you have a small amount of knowledge of the language, or are you still just as
So here's the thing about Japan, they're very polite. If you get lost, anybody will help you. You say, hey, I'm lost, they'll get you where you got to go. And that train system for the longest time was a motherfucker, but now Google and you'll figure it out while you're there. Google now will tell you what platform to go to, which train to switch to. It's so much easier now. But this 9 months, I had a Japanese fiance, which shit went tits up when I came home. But to the point that she knew enough English words to get her point across. I knew enough Japanese words to get my point across. And if I didn't, I got this little translator thing that Shadow WX, which I will go ahead and tell you, if you're going to Japan, is a game changer. You push one button, you speak English into it, it speaks Japanese. Push the other button, they speak into it, and it tells you what they're saying.
Oh man!
So yeah, but in 2000, that shit was difficult as shit. But now things have gotten so much easier, and a lot of things now, because so many English people go there, English-speaking people go there, that you go to a convenience store and it won't just have the Japanese, it'll also have the English of what's inside of it. So yeah, things gotten so much easier.
That's nice. Yeah, for sure.
So we've hit our hour mark, man, but we definitely want to promote this show we got coming this Saturday, because we are official sponsors of the show as well, for one. And there's let me see if I can find the flyer real quick. And put the.
What do you guys think about this dude, Aaron Gunn? Is he going to take me?
Let me tell you this much. I don't think his video is as intimidating as yours was. So I don't know. Maybe that I've never heard of him before, so I don't know anything about him.
I don't know. Might be getting a little big for his britches.
Well,
Yeah, he's out with the old and in with the new. He's like, yeah, but old school is different, bro. And
that's it. Well, hey, man, cut them promos all you want. I'll just roll with the punches. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Cut them promos, and he'll cut you. And by the way, Angela did chime back in. That was Joe as well. You were correct about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about the same people.
Yeah, I know the Davis brothers. I know. Dad and son. Yeah, we used to do these firehouse shows, and yeah, I do remember now. Now I remember.
That's how a lot of it is. You just gotta be reminded, because you talk about forgetting main matches. I've been to all these manias. Sometimes people be like, "Oh, Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor," and I'm like, "Holy shit, yeah, that did happen. I completely forgot." But no, here's the flyer for this upcoming Saturday. Pretty cool little flyer. Little Bobby Fulton up there. Some of our buddies as well on the card as well. Mr. Ben Chimera, Dick Myers, KC. They've all been on the show. It's pretty cool.
How about Hooks? I see Hooks on there.
Oh, Hooks. Hell yeah.
Chris. What's Chris's name? BOTB right there in the center. Chris.
Oh, Ledbetter.
Sergeant
Ledbetter.
There you go. I used to go to the Trader's World, and he would hook me up with LJNs.
Yeah. He still has that. Little booth out there.
Oh yeah.
My son is 7 years old right now, and all he cares about is figures. And a buddy of mine hit me up today. He's like, "Hey man, I got 13 loose AEW figures." He's like, "Your son won them for a cheap price." I was like, "Give them to me $5 a piece. I'll get them right now." He sold me all 13 of them.
Oh, there you go.
He's got this point. I think he's almost over 100 wrestlers, and he's like going through, and he's like, "Dad, I need a British Bulldog. I need a Mankind." And I'm like, yes, you do.
That's right.
I love it so much, man, because don't get me wrong, I showed him wrestling, but he's developed this all on his own. He goes in his room, and he has one TV over here, and he'll turn his wrestling on, and then he'll turn to his little computer gaming station, and he'll play a wrestling game while he watches wrestling, and he'll try to recreate the match with who he sees. And I'm like, man, I remember being that into it too. So
hell yeah.
It's cool. He's going to be there this Saturday, so
yeah, I'm excited for Saturday, man. It's going to be.
I don't
a good
know if
time.
he knows who I am. We'll get a picture together, man.
He definitely does. I was telling him tonight. I was like, "You need to know who this guy is." And I was showing him some of your stuff. So,
yeah, it'll be exciting. Battle on the Border, Saturday, August 16th. What was bell time on there? What we got?
Bell time is 6:30. Doors are at 6. You can get your tickets on that QR code right there. If you can't get the QR code and you're listening to the audio, you can go to Battle on the Border on Facebook. They'll have the link for the tickets there. But yeah,
I also have a seminar that day.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be taking part in that. So,
what time does that start? I'm terrible.
I think it's 3 to 5.
3 to 5. So yeah, my stuff is not like other seminars. I'm going to show you safely how I do the things that people think that I kill people with. And then I am a big promo guy. Like, I can't wrestle worth a shit, but I can cut a pretty good promo to make it sound like I can. So we're going to work on that. But if you got time, 3 to 5, come on out for the seminar, and then come on out at 6:30, you said?
Yeah,
Yep.
doors are at 6, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. But I'll see you at both, hopefully. I'll see everybody at both.
Hell yeah.
We'll be out
can't
there.
wait. We will be up there for sure with bells on. Cannot wait. And as always, we have been the DWO podcast, and I am Big Rig Eric Manfey. He is the wrestling
one
t-shirt guy.
thing before we go.
Go.
Sorry.
You're good.
Like I said, I wrote a second book, which will also be available, but the first book is called Memoirs of a Madman, and you can go to Amazon.com and pick up both after September. You can pick up the first one now. Or you can go to eatsleepwrestle.com and get an autographed copy, which John Cosper will hook you up with. But yeah, both books will be available in September on eatsleepwrestle.com. He would have kicked my ass if I didn't get that in there.
I'm gonna hold on. Before we leave, I want to show everyone the cover of this book because it's fucking amazing.
If you buy the book and you come to one of my matches, I will give you the bloody thumbprint on the first page. And there it is. And the reason I do that is y'all saw Jurassic Park. Someday when I pass away, you'll be able to make your own little Madman Pondo.
Yeah. I love it.
Sorry. Now,
hey, no, you're good. Promote away, brother. I mean, hopefully we have you on here again. I feel like we barely scratched.
We have to because you missed Mike. Mike is normally our
Mike's
third co-host, and he's going to hate that he missed this one because it's always when we have a fun guest and one of us isn't there, the other one's like, God damn it.
You guys tell me when. I'm number one, I got nothing to do. Number two, I'm so full of shit. So let's go.
Hey, we love it. Those make for the best conversations for sure. Well, Madman Pondo, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute blast. As always, you can check us out on all the socials at DWO_podcast, Facebook at the DWO podcast, TikTok at DWO_pod. Get that dad merch at Pro Wrestling Tees, TeePublic, or message us directly. Like, subscribe, listen, follow, all that good stuff. Whatever you're watching, listening on, hit that button. It does all that stuff.
It helps.
And until next time, top dads.
I hope to see y'all Saturday.
Hell yeah.